Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features the brand new Premium Tier VIII Dutch cruiser, the Zeven Provincien, which will be available to construct in the Dockyard. The era of the Airstrike is about to enter World of Warships, now that you can build your very own Dutch premium cruiser. The construction of the Zeven Provincien consists of 24 phases, which can be completed by finishing Dockyard combat missions or spending 1500 doubloons per phase. You can complete 21 out of 24 shipbuilding phases by completing in-game missions, and then to complete the shipbuilding you will need to purchase 3 phases of construction for 4500 doubloons. This video features a complete review guide of the Zeven Provincien. So starting as usual, let me put up the complete captain build I've been using in this gameplay footage. There are a couple of things of note here. The engine boost upgrade is a viable alternative instead of damage control 1 in upgrade slot 2, and I am using a full AA build. In update 0.10.7, when the Dockyard goes live, the AA skills are also being slightly changed, giving a reload bonus to the Airstrike consumable, making it even more effective. So it's not only a reload buff for the Airstrike, but the already strong AA also gets a really nice increase in firepower, which I'll go over in more detail later. First, let's look at the Zeven Provincien's armor layout and survivability. The Zeven Provincien was a light cruiser, laid down before the outbreak of World War II, and the ship was completed in the 1950s, utilizing a changed design. So, using a simple port screenshot, we can see that the Zeven Provincien is a lightly armoured cruiser, but what it lacks in armour, the Zeven Provincien makes up for it in terms of speed and mobility. Starting with the bow armour of 25mm, both upper and lower. The front turrets get an additional strip of protection of 50mm, while the main belt armour is 75, with a strip of 50mm upper casemate armour. The main deck has 2 elevations, both covered by 27mm, and joined together by 25mm. The stern gets an upper aft end plating of 25mm, but the lower aft end plating is covered by a quite strong 60mm of plating, both above and below the waterline. The Zeven Provincien gets 33,800 hit points, which is further reinforced by having 4 repair parties, and a torpedo protection damage reduction of 19%, which is, by the way, way above average for its tier, only outmatched by the German cruiser Mainz. The superstructure gets 13mm of plating, while the 4 main battery gun turrets get a frontal plate of 100mm and then uniform protection of 50mm on all side, top and rear platings. The Zeven Provincien is unlike her top-tier Tech Tree compatriots, which are designated battle cruisers with large gun caliber, but that also must endure long-lasting fire duration. This is not an issue for the Zeven Provincien, having a light cruiser designation. The Zeven Provincien gets 8 152mm guns in 4 twin-mounted turrets, equally divided with 2 fore and 2 aft. These turrets have an 180-degree turning time of 19.6 seconds, which might seem a little slow, but all 4 turrets can rotate 360 degrees, which allows you to keep all your guns quite easily on target, even when hard manoeuvring. These 152mm guns have a 6.5 second reload time and a max firing range of 16.1 kilometers, firing both high explosive and armor piercing rounds. The HE rounds can inflict a max damage of 2150, and they can penetrate 30mm of armour, and have quite a high 13% chance of setting the target on fire when training Pyrotechnician and mounting both fire flags, while its armour-piercing rounds can inflict a max damage of 3000, and both shell types have the same very fast shell speed of 900 meters per second. I must say I found both shell types to be very reliable. The AP is best saved for flat broadsides when presented, but overall high explosive will be your mainstay. The fire chance I found to be excellent, and being able to combine fast firing HE rounds and the high explosive bombs dropped from the airstrikes, they can be a lethal cocktail, allowing you to stack fires on multiple targets at once. The Zeven Provincien is a light cruiser, and she is stripped down for speed, so she does not carry any secondary armament, so you can forget about any close quarter expert achievements in this ship. And so we come to the HE Airstrike. This is supposed to be the whole gimmick and so-called calling card of the Dutch cruisers, and the Zeven Provincien does not disappoint. It's the first of the Dutch cruisers to get 3 available flights with a very fast reload time of 65 seconds. The first airstrike will start loading when you begin the match, followed by another every 65 seconds, allowing you to have a max of 3 that you can fire all at once when you wish. Each available flight contains a squadron of 6 aircraft, each one capable of dropping 4 high explosive bombs. These high explosive bombs can inflict a max damage of 5800, with a 35% chance of setting the target on fire, with a max firing range of 13 kilometers. These aircraft have 1860 hit points, and when attacking solo targets, the majority of planes will be able to break through and drop their payloads. I found these airstrikes to be incredibly versatile, allowing strikes especially on targets camping behind islands. Static camping or reversing ships are your ideal target, as it's much easier to anticipate their movements. When dropping on mobile targets, maneuvering in open water, it suddenly becomes much more difficult, as you really have to eyeball targets using the drop timer on the left side of the targeting reticule, which will tell you how many seconds it will take for your bombs to actually hit that spot on the water, while the arrow represents the direction of the incoming flight. It's then a question of examining your target's course and speed, and anticipating where and what he wants to do, and aim accordingly. The major advantage of having 3 strikes available is you can use the first for your best guess, and then using that information to home in close with the second and third attack flights. Being able to stack fires combining airstrikes and your main battery is incredibly effective, even against the most heavily armoured of targets. These bombs do have enough penetration to penetrate the bow and stern sections of battleships, but I would advise aiming centre mass for the superstructure, as it's very difficult to hit specific small sections at first. The Zeven Provincien is the first of these Dutch cruisers where I no longer felt the airstrike was a distraction, but felt like a real weapon at my disposal. The range and the reload and the amount of attack flights you are using them, it feels almost continuously. As I already mentioned, I'm using a full AA build in this game, and as of the next update, 0.10.7, with the buff being applied to the AA Expert Marksman, the reload on these airstrikes will be even faster, making them even more effective. You shouldn't feel like you have to rely on them at all times, but alternate between both main battery and airstrikes as much as possible and you will be pleasantly surprised with the results, I assure you. Target selection remains as ever very important, and learning how to aim the airstrikes does take a bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, they can become incredibly rewarding. Bombing the hell out of camping targets, thinking they are safe in cover, is very satisfying. Slow-moving battleships will be your preferred target, but anything static or smoked up is also a prime candidate for these airstrikes. As I've already mentioned, I'm running with a full AA build, and the air defense on the Zeven Provincien feels pretty strong. Even though the number of actual AA guns is quite low at just 24 in total, they range from 40mm to 57mm, and the main battery 152mm double up as AA, making it feel quite potent. All combined, they pump out a continuous average damage of 526, the vast majority of which is mid-range, out to 4 kilometers. The Zeven Provincien can fire 5 shell explosions per flak salvo with a max damage of 2117, with a hit probability of 90% and a very strong max firing range of 6.9 kilometers. The combination of long-range high flak damage combined with very solid continuous mid-range damage makes the Zeven Provincien quite a threat to air squadrons. You are not impervious to air assault, but combined with other ships' AA, the Zeven Provincien can shoot down a lot of planes. As long as you are not taking citadel hits from armor-piercing bombs, air attack is not too much of a threat, considering you have 4 repair parties to heal back light fire damage. The advantages of an AA build are thus twofold and win-win. You buff the reload on the airstrikes, giving you more damage potential, and also decent AA defense gets reinforced. The detection range for the Zeven Provincien from the air is the same as its AA range of 6.9 kilometers, so there's never really any need to turn it off. When it comes to maneuverability, the lack of armor protection is balanced out by having pretty good handling. The Zeven Provincien gets a base speed of 32 knots, which can be increased to 33.6 with the speed flag, and with the engine boost consumable active, over 36 knots of straight line speed can be attained. The Zeven Provincien gets a turning circle radius of 730 meters and a rudder shift time of 7.3 seconds, and that is with the steering gears mod in slot 4. Should you prefer to go for the propulsion mod, then the rudder shift time drops down to 9.1 seconds. The Zeven Provincien handles reliably, allowing you to turn and maneuver quickly to avoid incoming fire, as you do have to be on your toes when targeted. You are a light cruiser after all, it's not advisable to just sit there and take it. Finally, stats wise, the Zeven Provincien gets a concealment rating of 67, with a full stealth build using both the concealment upgrade and captain skill, which means you will be surface detected by enemy ships at 9.3 kilometers and, as already mentioned, by 6.9 kilometers by enemy aircraft. This low concealment is very good. It's the same as the Japanese Tago and only 100 meters more than the Edinburgh, for example. Having such good concealment is a great advantage, allowing you to operate closer to enemy ships without being seen, allowing you to make far more use of your airstrikes should you need to be stealthy when outnumbered. All in all, I think the Zeven Provincien is the best Dutch cruiser by far. The combination of great stealth, fast firing 152mm guns, and very usable airstrikes make her a force to be reckoned with. I've been struggling with the high-tier Dutch cruisers so far, with the unreliable dispersion, slowish reload, and long burning fires, but none of this applies to the Zeven Provincien. Personally, I believe the Zeven Provincien is going to be very popular, and a great addition to the new Dockyard event. There are even moments where I thought to myself, oh my god, this ship comes very close to feeling overpowered. Not quite, but very close. I hope you all enjoyed the video and gained some insight into the brand new Dockyard ship, the Zeven Provincien. I do realise it takes a lot of time to grind through all the directives, but should you have the time, you can pick up this really nice cruiser for just 4,500 doubloons. Although I'm sure there will be starter packs available, allowing for faster progression. I do feel it's a real bargain for that price, but just don't take my word for it. Watch other creators you trust and inform yourself as best as you can. Should you wish to see some more live Zeven Provincien gameplay, I'm streaming live on Twitch several times a week. You can see the link here on screen and in the video description below, where I'll also put the full recommended build, so you can just copy paste if required. If you have any questions, feel free to come on over and ask, or if you simply want to hang out for some chilled out gameplay. I look forward to seeing you all, and I'll let the video play out until the end, and until the next time. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.